My name is Karen Thomas, and this is the Summit Seekers Thursday morning virtual coffee chat. And in the coffee chat, we discuss things going on with your business, things that might concern you or you might have questions on. The community has a diverse types of entrepreneurs in it, and we are all on the road to being better leaders for our teams, our families, and just life in general needs people who can think on their feet and not just be robots. But anyway, we are here to help you grow your business and your thinking. So if you have an aha moment or you see this on the replay, give us a hashtag replay and tell us what you thought. Or if you have a question, DM me or put it in the chat and or in the comments, and I would love to have our community, or whether if it's just me right now, it's just me. But with it being December and a lot of my community and a lot of the people who come here in our virtual chat do sell products, and this is a busy time of the year with the holiday sales going on. So me, myself, and I thought that I would chat about ADHD. People, there's so many YouTube things on it. You see it in Facebook, my ADHD symptoms or my funny ADHD moments. ADHD, whether you want to make fun of it, you believe in it or not, I have dealt with being ADHD my entire life. But when I was a kid, now I'm 65 years old. So back when I was a kid, I was just a challenged child. I drove my mom bonkers. It's a wonder she still has hair, because I'm sure that she wanted to pull her hair out with me most of the time. I did not learn that what I struggled with was ADHD until my daughter, my youngest daughter, was in I want to say it was first or second grade. I'm not quite sure. She was about 7 or 8. And the teachers said they wanted her tested. Well, I already knew she was a mini me. I mean, when she was little, I could give her just a small handful of Honey Nut Cheerios and she'd start running circles, because it didn't take much sugar to activate the hyper mode. Sometimes you didn't even need sugar, because a lot of times people look at me and say, how do you do all of that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't run out of energy. But the thing about ADHD, over my lifetime, finding the ways to deal with it, there is no cure for it. There is medications. And my daughter was blessed that she grew up in a time that we could get her on medication, and she actually did okay in school, but it wasn't a walk in the park. She was on restriction. We had to come up with systems to get the stuff into school. Her childhood, I was the BITCH of her life, because my mom had to be the BITCH of my life. So, we repeat the patterns in life that we learn. Our parenting is all, we repeat the parenting that we had. I was very lucky, because being and having ADHD needs strong no cross boundaries. There has to be consequences for everything that you do or don't do. The problem with most parenting is that they parent on fear, on this is going to happen if you do this, if you misbehave. They don't parent so much on rewards. And a lot of research has been done that most people work harder for the praise, the I love yous, the I appreciate you. Oh, great job. They will work and do things better when you praise them. I know I certainly would have. But that wasn't the model that was in my mother's family, or my mother's mother's family, or my mother's 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 family. They come from the old country, and it was very, very strict. Women had their place, and children were to be seen and not heard. And I am my father's child. I have the diarrhea of the mouth. So my mother didn't know how to deal with me because she doesn't. And when you grow up in this kind of environment, as a teacher's kid, because my mom was a teacher, she helped me find systems to help me at least try to accomplish getting through school. She did not require straight A's, but she did require that I be passing, which was a big struggle there most of the time. I would get so depressed because all these other kids could just open a book. They seemed to just float by and get straight A's. And I studied, I had to do extra work just to try to have the, the extra stuff to keep my grades above passing. I decided my mother wanted me to go to college. She was the first in her family to go to college, and she wanted me to go to college. And I told her, I said, I can't see you spending your hard-earned money you really don't have, when I can't even get through high school. I struggle making average grades. I don't know what I want to do. What do you do? And see, I'm 65 years old. Back in the day, the only options for girls really was to get married and have kids. You worked secretarial jobs, you worked, grocery clerk jobs. It really wasn't, an avenue like for some of today's girls. If I was a 18-year-old now, I'd be joining the military. I'd be wanting to get out in a safe place and learn how to be my own human being without being married. Because married is its own other world of trying to find compromise and finding a way to work together, because love is great, but we're not taught day to day how to manage relationships. We just aren't. And I didn't have any good examples of relationships since my dad disappeared when I was not even 3 years old. My sister was only 6 months. And my dad was out of the picture. I didn't see my dad again. I think I talked to him when I was 18. My mother had him found because she was going to try to send me to college on his GI Bill, on his military. But they found him, so we knew he was alive and well. She was, hoping he would be dead and I could take advantage of that. But oh well. But I didn't talk to my dad or see my dad until I want to say 25 or 26 year old. I actually physically flew out to see my dad. The thing is when you are ADHD, things are a struggle in trying to keep it together. When you're very, very focused, or your heart, soul is in something, you stay super focused, and that's easy. Taking those same techniques when you're scattered and things aren't, or things are falling apart. When I had my first child and she was born with spina bifida, I told this story, I think one of my other talks, I became an instant stay-at-home mom. Well, being ADHD, I'm thinking, okay, I after trying several different businesses that after a year or two didn't really work, I went back into sales. I used to love sales when I was in school. I was top candy sales, top donut sales. If there was a fundraiser, I was top of everything. I loved offering it to people. I loved talking to people. It was what I would do. So I thought, okay, I'll be the Avon lady. Everybody loves the Avon lady. So I became the Avon lady. And I had been the Avon lady at 16 because I got bored with children and waiting for people to need me. I never liked having other people dictate how I made money. I would mow yards when I was little or younger. Growing up, my mom didn't have a lot of extra money. So I was used to hustling. I've been hustling since I was probably 8 or 9 years old myself. When we got a lawnmower and I started mowing our yard, then I started making money mowing other people's yards, babysitting. I would cat sit. I would dog sit. I've been hustling. So that's a normal part of who I am. Now at getting into 65, changing and helping other people learn the techniques and learning how to stay focused. Because when you're ADHD, thinking is the hard part. Well, actually, it's not hard. Our thinking goes about 90 miles an hour. Gets obsessive. It gets like overwhelming. And learning how to calm it down, learning how to flip the ping pong effect of thoughts and this and that is what today's entrepreneurs need. It's what will help you in staying and keeping your business on track and finding the ways to expand your business. I built, when my daughter was born, that Avon business, because I'd already been in it 2 other times. So I kind of had an idea. I said, okay, I can't go back to work. I can't go get a 9-to-5 job. I can't get any kind of job because I had doctor's appointments. I had physical therapy appointments. I couldn't get a babysitter that didn't cost me double what normal babysitting rates were because she was special needs. You work with what you have and you learn how to make the best of it. So I did the best thing I knew how to do. I opened up a book. I went to the library and I got cassette programs. The first one was Brian Tracy's The Psychology of Selling. I started doing every kind of program I could find in the library or books, communication, selling, anything to do with thinking and finding the ways to get myself and my business and making the money I needed for my family on track. This is now where I'm taking my business, because at 65, I'm not selling products anymore. I'm helping my mother, who's 91, go through her last years. And right now she's doing pretty good. But at any moment, things could change.
Recording in progress.
Oops, wait a minute. So it's a matter of that you have to, when you are in business, if you are needing or wanting to make money and not be stuck in just a 9-to-5 income, because if you are working 9 to 5, you are on a fixed income. If you are working a job, even if you work 2 or 3 jobs, there's only so many hours in a day that you can physically work. There's only so many days a week you can work. There's only so many days a month or just so many days a year. So whatever you physically can work, that is what you are limited to in your income. So finding a way to expand or to add or to be able to get people to buy things or to have a service that gives you more flexibility and gives you additional income is the way to be financially free. They have proven network marketing is the way to be financially free. But it's not easy. This is not a walk in the park and, oh, I'm going to sell this. You're competing with billion-dollar companies for these people's money. So having a way and finding the mode that will serve your business and your personality takes strategies. And today, there is so many options out there. Finding the right one can be, like finding a needle in a haystack. What I offer with my Focus Foundations program are the ways that you can stop the incessant thinking, that when you find yourself running amok in your thinking, that you have the tools to change it, to change how you process. Because if you're not intentional with your thinking, if you're not intentional with what you do, if you're not intentional with what your activities are, then you're going to have haphazard results. Some days you might make sales, some days you may not. Some days you might get a lot of no's. And figuring out why that is happening is what I want to help you do. I want to help you understand that this can be the best adventure ever. And when I built my business up to $150,000 a year, I've sold over $1 million in product. The selling becomes automatic when you use books, programs, and today, unless you want it to take forever or take a long time to find what tools will work for you, what's the best mode, you need a mentor. All your most successful people have mentors or have partners or have mastermind groups that they can bounce things off, that they can talk to, that they can problem solve with. When you try to do it by yourself, that is where the struggle and the defeat comes in. You know, the FTA, which is the Federal Trade Administration, determined that only 2% of all network marketers make any type of income. And truth to be told, because I didn't have all of my strategies, it took me years of putting my business together and working it and getting it fine-tuned that I was making money. But the amount of hours that I worked was probably less than minimum wage. But there again, I couldn't go get a job and get a guaranteed salary. So I had to have the flexibility of being able to go to doctor's appointments and physical therapies and work a business along with that. And it took me, and as I progressed in building my business, I learned systems. I learned ways of focusing. And this is what my program offers you. It's Focus Foundations. And it will take you on the trip of learning how to be intentional in your thinking. No company just goes out there and throws commercials. They do testing. They do surveys. Every big company out there is studying who their perfect customer is to find just the right advertising. You have to do the same thing if you want to be effective in moving your business forward. And sometimes we were not taught these skills in school. We were not taught these skills when in our families. We were not taught any of these skills, especially if you were a woman. What we were taught when we were little was how to go to school, take tests, get good grades, and work for somebody else. Or if you didn't like getting good grades and you didn't like studying or the thought of really working in a business or working, then you worked at finding a man to get married to and have kids and have him take care of you until he leaves you for somebody else. Because finding good men nowadays is really, really challenging. Look at the divorce rate. I've done it twice. I've divorced twice because, you know, I had a strong mother who gave me a lot of backbone. And there just comes a point that I'm just not going to let somebody demean me or tell me or make me feel that I am second class when I'm not. But it took me quite a few years to manage that as well. But if you're ready to make 2024 the year that you blossom, the year that your business explodes, double, triple, quadruple, contact me today and let's get started on your Focus Foundations so that you have the tools going into all of the challenges that go with running a business. Because running a business is like being on a roller coaster. It is always up and down. And knowing how to handle the ups and the downs is where the winners shine. I want you to be a winner. You are a winner. But are you going to stay in your comfort zone? Or are you going to take some initiative and reach out. I'm here wanting to spend the next 30 years helping entrepreneurs. The me that was at 24 and struggling with a new baby and struggling with a family and trying to figure out how to have a business, how to make money when I couldn't go to work. I've been there. I've been you. And I came out of it on the other side. So as I go through helping my mom through her last years, and I'm going to be here, I want to give you the tools and the knowledge that you can do this. You can. And it is so wonderful to not have to ask anybody's permission about anything. You know, when I want to do something, I make a plan for it. I put it on my schedule. But see, having systems is how ADHD people become successful. Because without your routines and your systems, then you're just a bumbling idiot. And that is not what I wish for anybody. Even if you're on medication, when I went through the change of life, I did go on medication. And I told my daughter, I said, you know what? I almost feel normal. Is this what normal feels like? I was like, oh, this is great. The problem is staying on medications have their own side effects. They have their own problems. So learning how to manage the problems and the things that the medication just makes it easier to think it through. But you still have to have the systems. You still have to have the techniques because it's still going to happen. The thinking doesn't get better just because you're taking medication. I'm here to help you. My Focus Foundations program is here to help you. So reach out to me. Comment below if you are interested in my Focus Foundations. I want 2024 to be your best year ever. It will be mine. Because now that I have got this program put together, that I can now offer it to you, this is my dreams coming true, to make more winners. I want to see that 2% go to 20%, go to 30%. Every business out there can be a winner. Every product out there, if you love it, we can make it make you money. Let me be the guiding force for your focus today. All right, well, nobody's popped in. So this ADHD woman, you know, I have ADHD. I am not ADHD. It is not who I am. But I have learned how to make it my best friend, because I run circles around a lot of people because of the H in the ADHD without, having to take pop pills or anything. So I'm here. I want to help you. You can do this. You can be powerful and influential and wealthy when you learn how to focus. All right. See you next Thursday.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.